Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
We gather here today to wash away the filth that lurks within the library of the Nintendo Entertainment System. The purpose of this evening's ceremony is to chastise these abominations and excommunicate them entirely from existence in these sacred halls through sacrificial obliteration. Neither to reside in heaven nor hell, but utterly cast out into the void. I will now present my first offering of malfeasance. This overly ambitious game is plagued with overly complicated, unresponsive controls and hit detection, like the previously Forsaken game where you play as a raging Cajun. Its only honorable mention is its large variety of settings that don't mean shit when you can't defeat your opponent. If you do manage to best him, you get treated to a bonus round where you get knocked out by flying vases and shit. It is an arcade port that I rented as a child over and over again in hopes that it would get better each time. What a dumbass. I sacrifice Karate Champ.
Into the void.
Karate Champ was published in 1986 by the mediocre Data East and developed by Technos Japan of Double Dragon and River City Ransom fame. I guess every superstar has humble beginnings. A reading from the back of the box. Your karate championship is at stake. Can you master all the lunges, kicks, spins, somersaults, foot sweeps, reverse punches, and defense blocks needed to retain your title? Gee, I think they listed every move in the game. Move fast and play smart or you'll get flattened before you can grunt. Compete against a friend or challenge the computer. 9 different picturesque settings plus 3 challenging bonus screens provide backdrops for your matches. Hey-oo!
What was that?
It was written on the back of the box.
Oh.
Don't judge the graphics from the back of the box, though, as both screenshots aren't from the actual game. Must have been from a prototype or some shit. The level's different, the UI is different, and they tease a bullfight in one of them. False advertising at its finest. They did it with Carnum, too. I hereby desecrate Karate Champ as Forsaken. May its pixels be scattered for all eternity.
Forever scattered.
Father Avram, step forward.
Yes, Archbishop.
Present your offering of malfeasance.
Very well. My offering this evening is a port of a side-scrolling shooter that was fairly popular in the arcade, but its home console version is anal waste from a K9. It involves smashing the same button over and over again, usually to no use, as the enemies that spawn into the room just bowl over you as if you aren't even there. The only music track this game has is a short mashup of droning and wailing that made my head feel like it was being rotisseried by porcupine quills. It's not even entirely clear what it is you need to do in this game. The manual says to clear the ship of the aliens before it self-destructs, but if the damn thing is gonna blow up anyway, then why bother? Enemies include Metroid-like beings, drones that shoot at you, reminiscent of the training probes in Star Wars, and something resembling shrimp that crawl on the floor, like vermin. Finally, the biggest piece of shit in this game is some mash of tentacles or some such that they seemingly scribbled together to look like a creature. Anyway, you just keep mashing the buttons and killing stuff until one of them drops some shiny testicular orb from its innards. And picking it up ends the level, and then guess what? The next level is the same exact damn thing. I sacrifice Xenophobe.
Into the void.
Released in December of 1988, this game was developed by Bally Midway Manufacturing Company and published by Sun Electronics Corporation. Bally Midway did mostly arcade games, with Xenophobe being the only game for the NES with their name on it, and it shows. But they developed some fantastic games for the arcade, such as Rampage, Junior Pac-Man, and Spy Hunter, and the publisher, well, I don't have to tell you the games they have in their repertoire. Blaster Master, Journey to Silius, and Mr. Gimmick, to name a few. I don't know what the hell they were thinking when they took on publishing this clump of E.T. fecal cells. A reading from the back of the box. Xenophobe, are you ready for slime time? Xenophobe, fear of anything alien. At first glance, you'd never guess there was a living thing aboard the deserted starbase. But inside, it's alive and crawling with the most gruesome horde of alien life forms in the arcade galaxy. They lurk around every corner. They blend into every background. They multiply. They metamorphize. They jump from room to room and screen to screen. Watch out, or you'll get slimed. So grab your joystick and get ready for the fastest, most frightening split-screen action imaginable. Xenophobe conquered the arcade. Now it wants you. Over 1 mega power.
Hell is mega power.
I have no frickin' clue. It's on the back of the box, damn it. A reading from the back of the box. I hereby desecrate Xenophobe as forsaken. May its pixels be scattered for all eternity.
Forever scattered.
We will now open the floor to our deacons. If any of you have any games you would like to send to the ether, we invite you to approach the altar and present your sacrifice at this time.
Oh yeah, it's a piece of shit.
Reverend Cornelius Stonewall Jefferson III, please state your offering of malfeasance.
Appropriately enough, this video game was created from a famous horror movie franchise that has you lose the game by just not showing up in the right place at the right time. If you love a shitty shooting mechanic, or taking damage with no way to defend yourself, or non-intuitive gameplay, or just want a reason to think that doing meth is a better idea than playing this game, then this is the game for you. If this was the first game I ever played on the NES, I probably would have never been a gamer. But since I work for the Lord, I shall do the righteous thing. I sacrifice Friday the 13th.
Into the void.
One of the most disturbing parts of this game had nothing to do with Mr. Slashy with the machete and the hockey mask. Not at all. It came down to this piercing alarm that was like Satan just queefing within your soul, telling you that something bad was happening someplace else that you were nowhere near to being. And to make it worse, this alarm was telling you kids or counselors were dying someplace that you needed to get to. So even though you were no place nearby, you needed to get there. And if you didn't get there in time, the game would end. Now, I'm sure we've all watched a lot of horror films in our life, and I can tell you one thing right now. There is not a single horror film out there that the credits roll just because some people died and some people are alive. It always comes down to the finale of one hero staying alive and beating this guy. So the fact that the video game played completely different from this was completely contradictory to the way that anybody ever experienced a horror film or video game in that capacity. Friday the 13th was published by the notorious LJN Toy Company which decided to stop making buttloads of money from E.T. toys, Thundercats, and Brooke Shields toys in the early and mid-'80s to focus on just producing licensed video games in 1987. Never making the games themselves, LJN focused on attaining licensing and then just contracting a third-party company to take the responsibility of taking a massive shit on every masterpiece that Steven Spielberg, Robert Zemeckis, or Stan Lee gave them permission to desecrate. In 3 years, they reskinned some unnecessarily complicated controls to fuck up beloved movies, shows, and comics such as Jaws, Karate Kid, Major League Baseball, Uncanny X-Men, all 3 Back to the Future movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, and even Roger Rabbit. There was a special place in gamer hell for these creators. A reading from the back of the box. Excuse me for a moment while I go ahead and change into my movie announcer voice. It all takes place out at Crystal Lake, that pleasant little camp where happy children of all ages go to spend a fun-filled summer. But this summer will be different. The fun will have to wait. Jason has decided to come to camp, and terror is the only game they'll be playing. Only you can stop this terror. You and your 6 camp counselors can prevent Jason from running wild. It's not an easy task. You must first fight your way through forests filled with man-eating wolves, caves covered with blood-sucking bats, and hordes of mindless zombies at every turn. If a friend is in danger, it is up to you to help, or else you can just kiss them goodbye. Jason doesn't play favorites. He'll take anyone. Don't think that hiding in a cabin or staying adrift in a canoe will keep you safe. The only way to survive this summer is to challenge Jason face to face and destroy him. Don't worry that it hasn't been done before. There's always a first time. Well, not always. I hereby desecrate Friday the 13th as forsaken. May its pixels be scattered for all of eternity.
Forever scattered.
Jeff Gabor, please state your offering of malfeasance.
This cash grab shovelware game was made for the sole purpose of getting uninformed parents to purchase for their kids. The game takes the basic kids game known as slide puzzles and adapts them to the NES. An image is shown for a brief period of time and then is jumbled up. There's an empty tile or two that you are then able to slide the puzzle pieces around in an attempt to reform the image. I sacrifice puzzle.
Into the void.
Puzzle was an unlicensed game developed by American Video Entertainment in 1990. However, it was first made as a Famicom game by Ideatech, in which the later puzzle images featured adult-rated content. This was, of course, altered for the Western audiences. A reading from the back of the box. Your moves are numbered. Returning each piece to its original position requires unparalleled strategy and deep concentration. With each new puzzle configuration that you attempt to solve, you'll face new challenges. Your time is limited. Your moving options are restricted, and the intricacy of the images grow more and more complex. A chance to test your wits and use your skills to unscramble intense picture puzzles. This isn't a trivial pursuit. It's an intellectual pursuit where the puzzles advance in intricacy and difficulty. Are you ready to accept the cerebral challenge? Then put your head to work on puzzle. It will blow your mind. The back of the box then proceeds to display 2 of the 5 puzzles in the game. These intense picture puzzles amount to an image broken into 9 segments, with a single number hastily drawn in each tile, and then another image of a castle clearly ripped off from the Disney logo. A reading from the back of the box. This horror of a game did its damage to me, personally. My mom fell victim to the game's claim of being a cerebral challenge for kids and decided to pick this game up on a whim for me. New games were rare to receive back in the day, and to receive this game that amounted to a horrible slide puzzle game was worse than the cliche of getting a bag of underwear. I felt obligated to play it. Each time I did, I hoped there was something I was missing about the game. There must be some hidden fun buried in the game. But alas, the only fun to be had in the game was one of the puzzle images looked like Pluto the dog, high as a kite, with lipstick kisses all over its face. What in the holy hell was that about? Now, one last note is that many of the puzzles are randomly mixed in a way that's unsolvable. And the devs clearly knew this, so they had to create a hack to adjust for this. At any time in the game, you can decide to play paper, rock, scissors against an opponent. Should you win, you can swap any of the two tiles around, allowing the puzzle to then actually become solvable. And if you lose paper, rock, scissors, nothing. There's nothing. You just have to play this horrible game more. And the two characters that are depicted to be playing paper, rock, scissors seemed like they were drawn by a child and appeared nude. This is a confusing mess of a game that is a stain upon my childhood memories of my beloved Nintendo. I hereby desecrate puzzle as forsaken. May its pixels be scattered for all eternity.
Forever scattered.
The time is nigh. Let us now lift this sacred altar to the spires so as to wash away this filth, excommunicating them all to the ether, while we recite the incantation of sacrifice.
Please turn in your liturgies to page 6, section 66, and join us in the recitation of the Rite of the Forsaken.
By the power vested in the dark halls of the miNEStry, we utterly cast out these relics of antiquity, accursed NES creations, condemned to oblivion. May their pixels dissolve into the void, banished from our sanctuary forever. Rise, altar of sacrifice, ascend amidst the powers of the universe, as we exorcise the spirits of obsolete entertainment from our realm. Be gone, foul abominations, vanquished by the might of darkness and decay. Let the storm of oblivion consume the sanctuary of their lingering presence. Hail to the abyssal void, where only the shadows shall dwell in the realm of eternal night.
What happened? What is that noise?
Someone's on the roof. Quick, get going. I'm right behind you. Oh! What is that abomination stealing our games?
It is he who walks behind the scan lines.
Remember me, shit stains?
It's not he who walked behind the scan lines, you fool. It's Jeffrey.
Jeffrey? He's alive?
What gives, Giraffe?
What gives? See here, you losers! I've been in poverty ever since you trashed my department store. But it's time you paid the piper, you stuffed up miscreants. Now I'll sell these games for twice what they're worth on eBay. That's right, you asshats! I'm gonna corner the market on these shitty Forsaken games!
Corner the market with garbage? Good luck.
Ha! All it takes is a little thing called grading, and suddenly it's worth a fortune! See you later, douchebags!
Why didn't we think of that? I could have expanded my frickin' azalea garden.
This isn't over, Giraffe.
Our service is ruined. Our congregation is gone. A dead giraffe pirate made off with our video games. I want to go home.
Come on. Let's get out of here.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.